I love Spider-Man games. That's why I started doing this series. It's what gave birth to this channel. I was the perfect age to be sucked in by the Spider-Man animated series and then the Tobey Maguire movies that followed. I also remember loving this game, so what I'm about to do is gonna hurt really, really bad. For me and probably a lot of you.
But you can't do this to me.
I love this game.
You know how much I sacrificed?
I'm not saying this isn't a cool fucking intro. As it was released on the PS2, the game's graphics are an insane upgrade from the Inter Electro game that was released less than a year before. And the game also loosely follows the beloved movie, and the loosely is holding a lot of weight there. The game starts with a somber Peter finding his dead Uncle Ben and wanting revenge.
I'll find Uncle Ben's killer if I have to go through every one of the skulls to do it.
For some reason, I thought the PS2 games got away from the sky swinging, but I guess that didn't happen. The swinging, you know what, not even only the swinging. The controls in this game actually make me want to go back to the controls of the PS1 game. That's how bad it feels. Also, as much as I love and grew up with Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, by the end of this game, you actually kinda hate his voice because of these little quips he does, and a lot of them just repeat a lot.
Well, one of these losers is gonna give me some answers.
Also, I need to mention something. Somebody said in the comments of the Maximum Carnage video that this game they would consider harder than Maximum Carnage. Well, this game is annoying with sometimes the amount of mobs that you have to fight, and yeah, a lot of kids might have quit the game during the Vulture fight, where you have to climb Vulture's tower. Horrible fucking section. Very annoying. Holy shit. Oh, I can't wait to talk about it. But the fact that this game has saves every stage is the whole point that makes it not as hard. That's the point. It's not a gauntlet that you have to get through the whole game. But that's just a little rant, sorry. After defeating a whole criminal enterprise, Spider-Man finally tracks down Uncle Ben's killer and he falls out of a window. What I'm about to say might just be biased, but from what me and my friends all agree upon, the next section right here is what most of us remember. It's probably because a lot of us didn't fully beat the game when we were kids, and I'm guessing that might be it. But the shocker in the subway section is probably the most memorable section of this game. I want to say it again, that this is a huge graphical and quality update from the Inter Electro PS1 game, and I don't hate this game. I think overall this game has a way more cohesive quality storyline because it's built off of the movie than Inter Electro did. It's just some parts of this game just are really hard to feel good about in 2024. This section, even though you have to protect the cops, the whole not escort but protection quest that has been overused and pounded into the ground and made to where it's hated in the gaming community, didn't feel horrible in this game. There's a reason. It makes sense that you would need to do this. It follows the storyline. I don't hate it in this game, actually, weirdly enough. There are some times where you kind of get confused on where each person that you have to protect is if you're new to the game, but once you get the layout of this subway station down, it's not bad. Another thing I want to criticize the game for is the storylines. These little sections where you do get up to the bosses are very long and drawn out. There's a lot of like going through different set pieces and layouts to actually get to these bosses. And I understand this is based on the movie, and Shocker and Vulture and all these people aren't in the movie. I get that. But the game, I feel like the game at some point needs to understand that you're not going to be able to make a 2-hour movie into this big video game that actually has important moments. And you're gonna say, Jake, but this is a movie adaptation video game. These things are notoriously bad. And I will rebut with, there have been some amazing movie video game adaptations. And instead of telling you what those are, I will ask you, please tell me in the comments what your favorite one was, so I can bullshit my way out of saying them. But back to Shocker. We fight through the whole place. We get into the subway. We fight through the subway. We do a bunch of other stuff. Fight through more mobs. Like I said, this is a whole long situation. Like everything. Getting to the guy that kills Ben. Getting to everything is long and drawn out. Weirdly enough, the Vulture's actually pretty drawn out too. You're just fighting him the whole time, so it doesn't feel like it so much. But there's a lot of slush here. There's a part of me that understands why they do so much of that slush though, because the boss fights in general don't feel great. They're fine overall, but the original PS1 Spider-Man game just put the boss fights on such a high pedestal for me. It's hard to match that. There are some cool little sections. Let's be honest, I don't know if Shocker can do this. I've read a lot of Spider-Man comics in my years, and I don't remember Shocker being able to make a tornado, but it is cool that there's like this suck-in mechanic. It is showing like what the PS2 can do. But overall, it is a simple fight that leads into the most annoying, stupid, I don't care, call me bad in the comments, I don't care. Tell me that I didn't understand a mechanic and that's why I'm bad at this. But holy hell, climbing to the top of Vulture's tower is a blight on this earth. It should be deleted from the game. Vulture's not in the movie. We could have added anything else. Vulture's a boring character, old man bad, very sleepy bad guy. That's all I'm going to say. The first half of the tower isn't bad. Let me preface that. The first half of the tower is fine. There's the little things that come down and hit you, that blow you up. There's little bombs. You just have to dodge all that. It's a little bit of a puzzle maze getting through each section. Sometimes you have to knock down certain things, blow up certain things to get certain places unlocked. It's fine. It's when he lights the tower on fire and starts throwing bombs everywhere down the staircase. There's no like dodging it. He throws more bombs whenever you don't like try to like juke it. That's when it gets very annoying, and it's not that it's difficult, it's unfair. Like look at this clusterfuck right here of just explosions everywhere. I'm on the wall. Where else am I? Where else do they want me to go? Not the roof apparently, because the shit defies gravity too. And don't you dare say the floor, because that's the worst place to be. There is no safe place unless there is a mechanic that I just missed to be during this section. You just have to swing through and pray, because if you die, you get sent back to the beginning of the stage. And I mean the beginning. So yeah, after you've gone further beyond and unlocked Ultra Instinct, dodging every single bomb, making it to the top of the tower, you get to fly away and fight Vulture. Not here. This section's a swing chase, and the swinging sucks in this game. You were incredibly slow, and yeah, you just chase Vulture around. He also destroys random stuff where you have to web it to make sure it doesn't crash on people. The flying bosses in this game have this blue health bar tacked onto the red health bar to signify when they're in the air, and anytime they go back into the air, after you've knocked them out of the air, they gain it back, and you have to knock that off again for them to fall back onto the ground again so you can hit them. It's just a bad mechanic, and this game isn't polished, or it didn't come out in the right time to be able to do these acrobatic swinging past and hitting in the air moments, even with the lock on camera. I think we didn't have anything better at the time, so clearly it worked, but looking back, it's not good. But yeah, you just beat him. There is no cool outsmarting of the Vulture. You just beat him up.
Now, Vulture, you can't go around taking things that don't belong to you. What kind of example does it set for impressionable youngsters out there?
You having to protect Scorpion right here almost felt like the developers said, oh shit, the game isn't long enough, we need to add something to the game real quick. So they just added a whole section where you have to protect Scorpion in a parking garage from spider slayers or something. I don't know. Yeah. All that than just to fight him. So you get to fight Scorpion. Yet again, no cool way to fight Scorpion. Scorpion's whole shtick is that he's supposed to be able to beat the Spider-Man in hand-to-hand. He's the natural predator of Spider-Man, yet I'm just gonna beat the shit out of him. In the next section, we finally get a face-off against Green Goblin in the parade scene directly from the movie, and God, Willem Dafoe's voice is so good as Green Goblin.
Today is an unexpected bonus, Spider-Man.
Oh yeah? I'm afraid I don't give autographs. Sorry.
This whole section is very similar to the Vulture Chase, but instead you have to fight Green Goblin while making sure that the city is not falling apart. While the in-the-air fighting in this game is annoyingly bad, it does feel a little bit better when you're fighting a villain you actually care about. Weirdly enough, this disarming the bomb section of the game is probably one of the hardest parts other than the tower climbing, because at certain points you almost run out of time to get to the next bomb area if you don't know the path perfectly. This whole last section of the game leading up to the final battle with Green Goblin, they switch to a stealth game where it really is asking you to play this game out the exact opposite you've been playing the whole rest of the game. If you look at the top left, it shows like when you're in total darkness, when you're half concealed, and then when you're fully out in the open by the color of Spider-Man's mask. When I didn't hate the Ubisoftification of the game with the whole protection of the police in the subway station, this just feels like they're slowing down the inevitable ending of the game. I don't hate Spider-Man games that ask you to be stealthy. I like that as an option. And yes, you can play this balls out. You can go in guns a-blazing and just beat things. A bunch of robots come out, and it sucks really bad when they show up. But it's totally doable to do it non-stealthy, which I ended up doing anyway, because you get caught by the littlest things. Anyone still trying to do stealth by this point of the game, where there's lasers everywhere and cameras and robots and men all searching for you, is just, just asking for a bad time. In the end, after you get all the busy work done, you fight this big-ass robot for no reason at all. I don't know why this was added into the game. It's very annoying. He has lasers. If you get too far away, you have to destroy a bunch of shit before you fight him. It's a part of the game for sure. After a chase scene, which is only bad because of how bad the swinging mechanics are in this game, you catch up to Green Goblin and do your final fight with him after saving Mary Jane and putting her on the ground, and it is sadly an uneventful final boss fight of the game. It's pretty much the same as the Vulture. You get the blue health down, hit the red health. That's the end of the game. Sad. I wish it was different. It's not.
There's something I have to tell you.
I know, Tiger. You don't have to say.
Okay, 3 things I gotta mention about this ending scene right here. 1, crazy that they got Willem Dafoe and Tobey Maguire. I get that she only had like 8 voice lines in the whole game, but you couldn't have brought Kirsten Dunst in for the 8 voice lines. Number 2, why change that she knows that it's Spider-Man? Why make that huge retcon for the video game universe that she knows that Spider-Man is Peter Parker when this is supposed to be on the video game this is supposed to be the video game movie adaptation? And 3rd, it's crazy that they are making out over fucking Green Goblin's dead body, the father of one of their best friends. Alright, it's time for what nobody is waiting for, my actual opinion and ranking of Spider-Man the movie, the video game for the PS2. If you haven't watched any of my videos before, we have a ranking system that goes amazing, spectacular, great, good, nostalgia, and then trash. And let me start by saying there is a fight in my soul to put this in nostalgia, because it is not what I remember. It is not a great game by any means. And I pray that I don't have to say that with Spider-Man 2, because the memories are so good. But this Spider-Man 1, it does not live up. I think it edges out, though. I think it edges out barely, and I mean just barely. It edges into good. Now, if you ask me why I'm putting this in good instead of nostalgia, I might not have a great reason for you, but it's just the way it feels when I look at it and just try to decide what ranking it needs to go into. There are a lot of things I hate about the game, but I do think that it does enough okay that it's not just a horrible game. So tell me, do you love this game? Have you played it again since you're an adult, and do you feel the same way? Do you remember it differently than you do now? And also, I'm very close to 500 subscribers. If you could throw me a subscribe, that'd be awesome. If not, that's cool. Also, like the video if you will. And yeah, check out, I have a bunch of other Spider-Man videos now that I've amassed. Not a bunch, 6, I guess. So if you want to check those out, and I'll be back to posting weekly Spider-Man videos again since the hurricane didn't take me out fully. That's also why I didn't post last week. I didn't have power for a week, so yeah.